privately, that you could send it directly to George or to me, and then we'll read it out. Yeah. Okay. So now any uh, questions? You could just unmute and speak, or use a Zoom reaction. Put your question on the chat. Anything is fine. So open time for interaction for Q&A. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, can I?
Yes, go ahead, Jason. Yeah.
Yeah, hi, brother. Thank you so much for that insight that has been there since 1950s, 60s. Yeah. So, brother, I run a sports NGO, and it's one of its kind in the country where we aim to reduce crime rates and address gender-based violence. So our major work is with these challenging environment. Those are from the red light areas, juvenile homes. So the groundwork is the major work, but the rest of the works, like those website management, social media management, and other reports and other stuff, it's all done online. So how do you suggest, and what would you suggest, how this can, because we face a lot of issues with, because we are still a tier an organization because of the fund crunch. How would you suggest to kind of which AI or how we use to so that the online thing is managed and we'll be able to more focus on the on ground thing? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, great question. So there are a number of productivity tools that you can use for just marketing itself, right? So for example, all the copy that you need to write, you can actually use ChatGPT or Perplexity, or you can even use Notebook LM. All of these are free tools, just to frame your messaging and make it catchy and whatnot. Copy editing essentially. And then you also have some tools like, for example, Gamma that actually generates the visuals and the actual ads for you for social media. For example, you can actually push it out as a Facebook post or for Instagram. So they actually generate that for you automatically. So those tools are already available. It's a question of looking at which are your platforms, which are the social media channels that you want to be active on, and how frequently you want to do it, and then coming up with the marketing plan as you will typically do. But then the execution piece will be a lot faster if you use these tools, because then you're not relying on too much of bandwidth. So I can send you some of those tools, or you can look at it up yourself. Do a Google search and you'll find some very easily. But I think the key is about the discipline of using it and making sure that you have a plan and a goal that you want to achieve.
Yeah, well, thanks. It will be great if you can share those tools. Thanks.
Yeah, just drop me a note and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
How do we do that?
Your email or some. I think Brother Jason had put. Sorry, George had put his.
Yeah. Can you
video.
share that again? Yep. I just
yeah. So I'll put it on. I'll put it on. Yeah. That's my email address. Yeah.
Okay, that's contact.
Yeah, and my website is there too, so you can access all the resources I have there.
Great, thanks.
Okay, any other question, anyone? Please unmute and ask, or use the Zoom reaction, put it on the chat. Please go ahead. Any question? Anyone? Anyone from doing businesses, business ideas? Go ahead and ask.
I saw a comment on the metro trains being driverless. I think that's a great example of the automation piece I was talking about, because the outcome is predeterministic. You know what the risk parameters are, and that's a great example of automation. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Any other question, anyone? Do you want to you have any doubts, any clarity you need regarding what you're already doing.
Yeah, or even examples of what you have where you have used AI.
I have one question, Mr. George. Um, Actually, I've like a couple of times, like nowadays, there are many people they are coming with the advertise AI tools for your presentation or data things. But those AI tools are free because if we use free AI tools, is it the same result we will get, which you mentioned that you are already using, which you're paying AI tools? Is it the same thing we will get the work like uh hope you got it.
Yeah. So the reason I'm paying for it is because they have their watermarks on it. So I didn't want those watermarks on my presentations. So what typically happens is I don't think there's a deterioration of the output or quality of the output, but what happens then is you'll run out of credits very quickly. So if you have significant volumes, then that's what the subscription would really give you. But in terms of quality, it does not affect the output. The other thing is that the more you pay for these tools, it gives you additional things like ability to restrict your data from going, where you don't want it
Okay.
to go. So
Okay.
there are some of those advantages. But if you have none of that is a concern, then it should not be a problem. We should
Yeah.
apply that even to ChatGPT. I mean, look, I know people
Yeah.
upload their salary slips and
Yes.
passport information and all of that stuff. We should be careful.
I agree because I work in development sector, so we do work on data. So we have to be very careful. The data shouldn't go out. So that's the reason. Even Chat GPT, you just mentioned, is it so normal Chat GPT, which is free when we use, and I heard from someone that when we pay and use Chat GPT, both give a different like result.
Yeah,
So
it is. Yeah, I mean, because the paid ones also use very advanced algorithms as well,
okay, okay.
which unpaid you don't have access to. So that may be the difference in the results. But
Okay.
the same models will give you similar results. But again, like I said, one of the challenges with algorithms is that explainability has been a big issue for even scientists. So you
Okay.
will not get identical responses
Okay.
all the time.
Okay. Okay. Just now you mentioned to Jason regarding some like Gamma and Notebook, some these
Yeah.
tools. Is it like they when we prepare our reports for our donors or anyone? So is it like give you like authenticity, like wording and all, or they come to know like okay, you have already done in Chat GPT or something like that?
Yeah. So I think most of the systems would have some kind of hidden characters in the documents.
Okay.
It's very, you can actually find it. Now, easiest one is that this ChatGPT has this hyphen. It's called M dash.
Mm-hmm.
And I know invariably by looking at the M dash as it was created on ChatGPT. So
Okay.
so there are things like that you have to watch out for, especially if you're a student. I believe that universities crack down on essay writing now, and there are now tools available to find whether it's been used. But I think,
Yeah.
yeah, but I think the thing to see, this is where our integrity comes in, right? In
Yeah.
terms of where you use some of these systems and where we don't. But there are ways of identifying, whether a tool was used or not. And there's no harm in using these tools to improve or make a summary or whatnot, right? Provided
Okay.
you're declaring it. So, for example, in my book,
Okay.
there was a form I had to fill to say whether I have used AI tools anywhere, and I've said that I have used. So all the
Okay.
images that you see were all
Okay.
generated on AI tools.
Okay.
All of them. So and also sometimes when when you get into writer's block, you write one paragraph and the second paragraph and you struggle to
Mm-hmm.
connect the two. AI
Mm-hmm.
tools were fascinating for me to actually do that. So it helped me to write my book faster. But
Okay.
I had when I went to the publisher, I declared the fact that I have used AI tools for certain things, and I've called that out for them. So this is where you can build a healthy,
Okay.
equitable
Oh,
kind of a
okay.
framework.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question? Anyone? Okay, there's a question here. I find that using AI too often makes you dependent on it, and you start losing your own creative innovation and even the confidence in your ability. Also, you begin to trust it as if that is the trustworthy information. But I found many data provided was wrong. How to use AI prudently rather than become dependent on it?
Yeah, that's a very good question. In fact, there was a recent research paper that studied people's use of AI, and they were also raising that alarm. It's a classic problem, right? When we started using calculators, we forgot how to multiply, right? And you
Yeah.
see that through, in life's progression, you see that. So I think all of us have to use it judiciously to make sure that, we don't become over dependent on it. But in having said that, there is a healthy balance, right? But the other thing, so that is how I'll respond to, how, do we become over dependent? It's like saying, do I become addicted to coffee? The answer is yes. So we have to be responsible for how we take ownership for those kind of things, right? AI has that issue. In fact, I was thinking about the same this afternoon, because I'm speaking on Sunday at my local church, and I'm doing the main message, and then I wanted to create a chart. And usually I would do it myself, but I didn't do it this time because of the time crunch and everything else. So I'm becoming dependent myself, right? So there is the risk. So we need to manage that ourselves. But having said that, there is a fine balance, I would think, on those things, like the calculator example. The other thing you asked was about accuracy of some of these models. Yes, the models can go wrong, especially if your data set is biased. There's a good chance that your outcome can be wrong, especially if you're using your data and feeding your data to a large language model or a small language model and expecting an outcome, especially if it's not normalized. What I mean by normalized is that suppose you have data on 15 items, say, for example, 15 types of cars. And then if some of those car models, like say, for example, Toyota or Honda or whatever, have fewer data points and some others have a lot more data points, if you ask a question that actually affects all cars, you will find that your data will be skewed to those car models where you have a lot more data. So that's an example of what I mean by skewing of data. So you have to normalize the data before you feed, especially if you're using your data to feed into these models. Whereas you will not find that as a problem in English language, related tasks. So if you ask to rewrite your email, you will not have that problem because the data, the models have been trained on tons and tons of data. The volumes have been significant. Therefore, the chances of errors in getting the wrong grammar or wrong sentences may not be very high. But if you use your data, in fact, one of the challenges we had when we were doing this piece of work for Boeing was that we had to remove certain data sets in order not to mislead the algorithm. So algorithms can make mistakes. And the sad part is even the people who have written the software does not know why it happens.
Okay. Any other question? Anyone? Please unmute and ask. Any doubt? You could put in the chat too. Yeah. So just earlier this evening, there was a meeting on business, I think, people entering businesses. So what are some of the models they can turn to? So when they start AI models, they can turn to. So when they start off, they start on the right foot. They are prepared with rather than go into the business and then discover this is what they need and all of that. So what are some of the AI tools that can equip people who are wanting to start small businesses?
There are a few things that you need in a small business. You'll have a HR function, you'll have a finance function, you'll have marketing and customer relationship and all of that stuff, right? So for all of this, there are now most people would go and buy a SaaS tool. So when you buy them and you look at those tools, see which ones have AI capabilities inbuilt in it. So the reason why that becomes important is because then it actually those reduce the amount of effort that you like. For example, when we used to run our startup, we used to use Xero as our accounting software. Now, Xero has significant AI capabilities. As an example, it can auto generate an invoice for you. Whereas in the previous versions of the product, you had to go and configure your invoices. You have to upload your logo. You have to make sure that your table's looking right. You have to put your GST and whatnot. Whereas now it is all automated. So that's one thing to look for when you buy the software. So by function, look for a software that's suited for you. The other thing is that all of us will need some kind of collaboration capability. So it will be either Google Workspace or Microsoft-based software. The beauty is that both these systems have AI capabilities. So whether it is, I don't know how many of you have tried, Google has Gemini. Gemini has got a lot more features. NotebookLM, for example, belongs to Google, and it's free at the moment. And if you have a paid Workspace account, it allows you to, it won't send your business data into the cloud. It will keep it within, that paid subscription. As someone mentioning here, Copilot, for example, Microsoft has Copilot. There are also different levels of capabilities. See, one of the challenges I find with Copilot is that Copilot is very restricted and tied to Microsoft products. So if you work on Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, it does a fantastic job. Excel and so on, it will do a fantastic job. The moment you go outside of it, it kind of breaks and tries to hallucinate. So there are some issues there, but even if you choose some of those products, Copilot 365, as standard, you get these AI tools automatically with it. So choose them with those capabilities because that will save a lot of time and effort for you. But to answer your question, if you start a small business, like I have a small business, so I have Google Workspace and I've standardized across my email, my conferencing, a whole bunch of things. And it comes with AI tools like NotebookLM, which is a fantastic tool to do research on companies and come up with proposals. All of that is embedded in that. So that's some of the ways you can, and I use HubSpot for my CRM. The volumes are less, it's free. Yeah.
Great. Nice to hear that. Yeah. How about some of the, in the chat there is, how about some of the AI for creating websites?
Yeah, so there are a number of tools for that. I know a lot of people use Wix. I think Wix is getting a lot advanced on AI. Some of the things you have to watch out for is that you have to look at SEO, search engine optimization. Some of these tools, they are not there yet for some of the new tools that are coming in, but it's a quick way to publish your website. Like, for example, my website is hosted on Gamma. The whole website was created on Gamma. It was rated using AI. All the creatives, all the fonts, all the colors, all the look and feel, everything. And I was not so fussed about SEO initially because I was going through word of mouth. But if SEO is your thing, you need to check whether that is a possibility. But look, there are wonderful tools out there. And you don't need a software programmer or get a web designer these days to do websites, because those tools actually help you.
Okay, thank you. Any other question, anyone?
Yeah,
Yes, Anisa. Go ahead.
yeah, thank you. So, so my doubt is like using this AI tools, how safe it is to just drop all our data into that, and yes, we ask many questions and it will reply, and how far we can use those things, particularly in finances and handling the finances of our company. How could these AI tools, or how could we make them safe in using in those areas?
Yeah, it's a good question. And see, some of the subscriptions do come with that. Like, for example, if you look at Microsoft 365 Suite, they have an option where you can choose where your data is going to sit. So with free tools, unfortunately, you don't have the luxury, and you can't expect the tools also to do that. So especially when you're dealing with sensitive data, choose a platform that allows you to do that. Like, another thing I noticed about Google Workspace is that Google Workspace does not use your data to train the algorithms. It stays within within your account, but still I don't know where the data sits. That's still a problem. Whereas with Microsoft, you can choose where your data is going to sit, because you can configure that. So those choices are there. The other thing to do, Anisha, is I think you can encrypt the data, or replace names, real names, and use these tools. But it will still give, but I understand where you're coming from, because financial modeling, you want actual numbers to be worked on, so that you still have an issue.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sorry. This is Sujana, actually. My daughter's name is Anisa.
Oh, okay, okay. No
Sorry, I
problem.
couldn't change it. I didn't see.
That's okay, yeah.
Yeah, and one more thing is like, how could we get this knowledge of which tool to use for our exact operation, or else the exact application we need in our company? For example, I'm like looking for adopting AI in handling finance and HR in our company. Actually, ours is an embedded audio company. We are working on agentic AI also, providing this voice control and all. We are working on that. Ours is a software company. Okay. So I want to make use of these tools, adopt them in these areas, especially initially on this finance and HR. But I'm not very sure, like, where could I get this knowledge of which tool to use and how to adapt them. Yeah.
Just send me email. I can actually try and look whether I have some repository of tools there. But again, it really depends on what you're trying to achieve, because a lot of HR tools do have AI built in it at the moment. Like Workday, for example, I said as an example. It really depends on what. When I say HR is too broad, right? Are you trying to do recruitment? Are you trying to do compensation benefits? Or are you trying to do employee relations? All of that specific question becomes important. Again, from finance perspective, the same. So really understanding what is the problem you're trying to solve is important before you actually embark on a tool, rather than look for a tool and say, can I find where they fit. See, that's where the challenge is with large companies. I think small companies also can have the same problem.
Yeah, sure. I'll definitely text you on mail. Thank you for that.
Okay, any other question? Anyone? Yeah. Which is the news media that's exclusively dedicated to AI trends in the AI, that's coming up or that's updating about tools? Yeah. Is there any tech news that does a good job in covering what's happening in the AI world?
Good question. I don't know anyone who does not talk about AI.
Oh,
So, So everyone talks about it, right? But I have found, I think that there's a daily AI podcast, which I find useful, which is on Spotify. They cover daily news. The other thing I do is I subscribe to newsletters on LinkedIn of specific people. There is someone who focuses on governance with all the new laws and new, governance related topics covered. I follow that. But look, it's very hard to find someone who does not write about AI these days. It's become contagious. It's almost like disease because people feel if you don't talk about AI, you're left out, and there's this FOMO thing and all of that happening. So everyone is writing about it.
Yeah. Right. Any other question?
Just
Yes,
to
Ashish.
just to add to what George said, I joined 1 hour, later in the session, so apologies. So there's this tool, this app known as Perplexity, right? So if you have an Airtel connection, an active one, so you are eligible for full access to this app for 1 year. And I've subscribed to it. In that, you have one section known as Discover. So every hour, as and when the updates are there, whether it is acquisition, whether it is how enhanced the AI tools are getting day by day, even to the extent of what type of data sets they are using. So everything is there, which industry type it is impacting. So I think that is one thing which can be used by active users of Airtel. You can find out more by calling your service provider, but that is one thing I can suggest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And there's also, and that's a good point. And thanks for that, Ashish. I think there's also, if you go to Notebook LM has got a Discover feature as well. So to answer your question, Abhijit, if you write what is the latest trend, it will go and identify these sources and summarize that for you.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So so all the Googling we used to do is kind of eliminated. In fact, one of the trends I'm expecting in the next 5 years is the Google ranking model is already failing because that whole advertising model, because people have stopped looking at the links now. They only look at the AI summary on the top. So that whole model of using Google the way we used to use Google, it's going out of fashion. And probably in another 5 years, even websites are going to go out of fashion because you will actually submit your data into an LLM instead of publishing a new website. Right? So it's a very interesting game to watch, right? Because all the data that the large language models are using is from the websites, but now the website itself is becoming obsolete. So SEO becomes an LLM based large language model based activity as opposed to a website related activity as it was for the last 15-20 years.
Wonderful. Yeah. Any other question?
Yeah. I was using this AI Perplexity with the Airtel connection, and I just asked in the AI itself why Airtel is interested in what are the information that they are taking from me, and it was mind-boggling. they in the terms and conditions, they're actually taking all the data from my phone and all the data, and this is many of the data, unknowingly they're taking. So there's a catch in this free thing. I was wondering why Airtel is giving it free for 1 year. So before we take any of these, just try to check what are the data that they'll be taking it, and even in financial thing, because later they will be providing all this new offers on finance. What are the things? And I was shocked to see some of those things. Yeah, I thought I'll just share this.
Right. Thank you. Any other question? Any other reflection? Yeah. What's the time there now, George? No.
It's 2:48 a.m.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for for your time, your precious time, and also for sacrificing your rest. This was so important for us, and we want to wish you all the best for the book, your book release, and we hope to see you again, connect with you again in God's time. So thank you so much. Yeah.
No worries. My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
You can
Okay,
just
thank you.
share George's email ID.
Yeah. Oh, it was already shared earlier. We'll just share it again.
Sure.
Yeah. Brother George, can you share it?
Yeah, I can. And
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
Google my name, George Ebi Matthew. Yeah, I've been pretty active, so it's very easy to find me.
Yeah. Okay, I think I got something also. Okay, that's the website. Yeah, down there.
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
website and an email.
Yeah. Right. So thank you everyone for joining and making this event special. Thanks again to Brother George. Okay. See you all. Good night. God bless.
Good
Bye.
night. Thank you.